I've decided to try and grow some extra potatoes in time for Christmas, and I've saved a few of the ones we've harvested for that job. And these are kestrel, so they're a second early. If you're going to try and grow any more potatoes in time for a Christmas harvest, you need to be planting first earlies or second earlies. Main crops take too long, and second earlies can be ready in around 17 weeks. And we're only looking for little potatoes anyway. And one of these that I've saved has already started to grow a chit on top, so that's good to plant straight away. And the others haven't got any chits on at the moment, but you can see where it detached itself from that plant originally, which is that little indentation just there. So the chits will come from that end. So we can just go ahead and put 3 potatoes in this 30-litre container, add loads of feed and just leave them to it. And hopefully we'll get some new potatoes in time for Christmas dinner. So I've just part filled this container with compost, but I'm adding fish blood and bone to it. A nice amount. And then I'll just mix that in. So we're starting off with a good amount of feed in there. And then all we need to do is pop these taters in with those chits sticking upwards. And I'm just going to put them in at a triangle and shove them down so they're a few inch front bottom. And I'll do the same with other 2. Quick and easy job to do. We just need to then cover them over. And then I'm just going to put a light covering over it. And we want these plants to start growing as quick as we can, so they're going to be staying in greenhouse. And hopefully we'll get some new potatoes in time for Christmas. I've also noticed these Florence red onions. We put loads and loads of seeds in a tray so we can prick them out later, and they've come on really well. You can see they're now at what they call crux stage, which is where tops go over like that. And even at that small size, you could prick these out and move them on. But I can see that there's lots more tiny little seedlings trying to push through. So I'm going to give them another week, and then I'm going to take out all the biggest ones and make up a couple more pots of those Florence long red onion. And we'll put them in these caravan wash bowls again as well, because they did really well last time. They was around 4 inch tall and quite thick as well. And they are a very mild, sweet red onion. So we're making these little plants all ready to open get harvests by end of season. And all we need to do is sow a few seeds or plant a few more plants to keep that process going. We've already done it with some carrots. If we go over here, that's that trough of carrots we set up. And they all started germinating. And we spaced them out using some trays so we knew they was all evenly spaced. And we've got really good germination in that tree. So I'm really pleased with that. And hopefully we'll be getting carrots around Christmas time as well. Meanwhile, that melon plant is growing bigger and bigger all the time. It's now trying to reach outward. But I've noticed there's all these cobwebs starting to cover them, which is quite strange to see. But it's on every tendril. And I've just watered this plant because it was looking a bit sorry for itself, because it happens to be quite hot in greenhouse today. It's a butternut squash plant. And since you looked at it last week, it's gone even farther across this bench. It just gets bigger and bigger every time we look at it. It's a really big, strong plant, so we need to look after that. Something else we've been looking at is that pepper in this greenhouse. We look at it every week, and every week we look at it, it's grown even more. That is a really big sweet bell pepper. It's just not ripening at the moment, but hopefully it'll start soon. And we have got quite a few more growing as well. However, this plant, which had its first peppers on, that has been attacked. This one looks like something's decided to make it into an home. Not sure if there's anything still in there, but this pepper's pretty much no good now anyway. So that's a shame, considering these were the first 2 peppers that started growing. But at least that big one is still surviving. And we've got peppers on these plants as well. They're only in 2-litre pots, so not a lot of growing space at all. But they're still trying, and that one's trying to ripen as well. And we've got 4 plants in here, and one in a slightly bigger container that ironically hasn't grown any bigger than the ones in the 2-litre containers. And as melon plants happily growing away and producing flowers now. Although even though it's in ground, it seems to be growing a lot slower than the one in the container. We'll see how that goes. And there's still plenty going on in this container garden. Got some nice big lettuce there. And that's those dwarf French beans that were recently planted. One's been chewed a bit unfortunately, but now that fresh growth is coming, it should be okay. But over there we've got some more bell peppers in a really shallow trough. But again, they're getting to be a really good size. I can't fault those for the size of the container they're in. It's only a few inches deep, so to have that many peppers growing in it and still getting decent sized peppers is pretty good. And we're still getting strawberries from this homemade strawberry tower. Not as many as originally, but we're still getting a few harvests. We've got a couple there that'll be ready soon enough. And meanwhile, we're also waiting on these pears from this dwarf patio pear tree. These should be ready quite soon as well. It's a really big tree, considering it was about 3 foot tall when I bought it 2 years ago. And it only had 3 branches on it. So we've still got quite a lot of things on go. And we're still making plans for future plants. I hope these potatoes work out the way I want them to. Meanwhile, we'll concentrate on these onions, get some pricked out and get them moved on. And if we can get potatoes, onions and carrots all in time for Christmas, then that'll be brilliant. Hopefully through August, this weather is going to improve and help all these plants along as well. And we might even start and get some nice big ripe peppers. But between now and then, we'll just carry on sowing and growing as we do all year. And if you want to see what we're going to be doing next, please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Take care.